An Italian court has upheld a slander conviction against Amanda Knox. Knox is the American college student who spent 4 years in jail for the 2007 murder of her roommate before she was cleared of the crime. The slander charge stems from her falsely accusing her boss at the time of the killing. CBC's Megan Williams is on the story for us and joins us now live from Rome. So Megan, let's talk about Amanda Knox, who is hoping to put an end to this 17-year legal ordeal by exonerating herself today. Tell us what happened in court.
That's right, Natasha. It was a strange deja vu because I covered that case 17 years ago in Italy. It was where Amanda Knox, an American college student, she was 20 at the time, accused of killing Meredith Kircher, her British roommate. They did find the culprit of the murder, who was a local man who has come out of prison recently. He did his time. But at the time, the prosecution came out with a very far-fetched theory that Amanda killed her roommate in a sexual threesome, and that turned into a feeding frenzy for the tabloids. So Amanda Knox and her boyfriend at the time, Raffaele Sollecito, were found guilty at first. They spent 4 years in prison, and then they were eventually exonerated by Italy's highest court. But when Knox was first contacted by the police, she says she was put under terrible pressure and physically abused by some of the police officers to name her boss, who is an African man, an African-Italian man, as the person who murdered Meredith Kircher. So she was found guilty of slander against her former boss and is back in Italy 17 years later. She was hoping to explain to the court that she made that statement under pressure, but the court didn't buy it, it seems. They'll give their reasoning in about 60 days, but they had upheld that guilty verdict of slander against Amanda Knox.
And my understanding is this doesn't really count for anything because she's already served time in prison. So does that mean this is the end of the Amanda Knox saga?
No, you're right. I mean, she's served that time in prison, so it doesn't have any practical implications for her, but she's trying to clear her name. She says that after she was interrogated that first night by police 17 years ago, she was exhausted. As I say, she said she was physically abused, she was slapped, and the next morning she wrote a note reneging what she had said about her boss, and she said later on that her boss was a friend. He had been very supportive of her, so she apologized to him. But they're going to appeal this case. Her defense lawyer today said that they'll take this to Italy's highest court because they want the fact that, what Amanda Knox is saying, that she was coerced into the statement. They want that recognized, and they want the slander conviction overturned.
CBC's Megan Williams in Rome. Thank you, Megan.
Thanks.